I like, yeah, but I know she's still going through it. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted, just like you had gave me some insight, I wanted her to see some insight, but I didn't know it was gonna go left like that. And he was like, "Oh, there was way much more, but the status that she was at, I didn't want to break her." And I said, what do you mean?" She's like, "Her daughter." I said, "What do you mean about her daughter?" And he was like, "I don't want to say nothing, but I just," and because he's, like I said, he's cocky, "I just wanted to see if I did a really good job." I said, "What is he talking about?" I was like, "Oh, you did a perfect job because she's still crying." She's still crying, so you did an excellent job. And I was like, I was gonna end up, once I had got my taxes, I was gonna end up like paying for a lot of people just for them to get that healing part, to get that healing that they need. Because a lot of people don't really see, or they think like, "Oh, because you're my friend," or you telling. And that's exactly what I told Jolene several times. Several times I told her that. "I never talked about you. I didn't even know him like that. I found him through my brother, and when he gave me, my brother didn't know a lot of stuff that I was going through." So I say all that for a reason. So then I'm like, of course, now my gears, I'm an overthinker. So I'm like, what did he mean about her daughter? So I knew like I know the environment, because that's what Jolene was saying too, like it's really affecting her kids. They're seeing all of this or whatever. So I'm like, so I called Jolene and I'm like, "Okay, what's your daughter's phone number?" She's like, um, "Why, what's up?" I said, "I need to talk to her really fast." So she gave me her daughter's number, and I call her and I'm like, "Are you by yourself?" She was like, "No, I'm in the car full of with her friends or her sisters or whatever." So I'm like, "Okay, can you call me back when you're out of the car?" And so she ends up calling me back. She's like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "How you feeling?" She's like, I'm okay. I'm good," or whatever. And because at this time she was going to a special school called Pace or whatever, and they help teenage girls that's going through daily lives or whatever, and they finding challenges or whatever. So she was in that or whatever. So she so I'm asking, so I started asking her a couple of questions. She was very quiet, but then when I got to these certain last questions, her nose kept dragging. Like, how do you know that type shit? So when I start asking her more deep, like in-depth questions, she still's not saying nothing, but she just gets really quiet, and I automatically knew. I just automatically knew. Like, I was like, fuck. So I get to that point. I was I was just taken back by the whole thing, because I'm like you go into you go in once you become a it's so hard for me to say, because I really just don't want to say what I really want to say, because at the end of the day, that's her story. That's really her story, and I'm not obligated to say a lot of stuff. So I'm like trying to be careful of what I'm saying. But one thing I did know, like when I was talking to her, um, I broke down. I completely broke down, because my daughter, you know, is suffering what she's suffering, and like for her to be going through that, and you have a mother that you can tell this to, or what's really going on with you. You can really like open up to her about stuff. I know, but once again, it's Nixon all the time, like playing the puppet master and making her seem like she's not like that. But like her mom been through a shitload of things, even before meeting Nixon, that she's never healed from. So if she didn't think that her mom would understand what or how she was feeling or what she'd been through, like she would have. And the same thing like how I felt about my daughter, like I've been through a lot of stuff too, like so to think that I wouldn't believe you, or I wouldn't stick up for you, or you didn't think you had like support like me, like it crushed me. And then to hear her like your mom, her Jolene was like, so Jolene was the type of person you wanted to go tell that to. You know what I'm saying? Like so it was just really a hard conversation to have, but I had it and I told her, like we do love you. You got family here that loves you and everything like that, but I was also apologizing too for her, me as a mother, and for her mother on the other side, because I said at the end of the day, whatever your mom chooses to do with her life, that is going to be your mom's choice. But just know, like, you're still loved. You're still valued. You still need to be here. Like, don't think whatever her choice may be, if she stays with him, if she leaves him, like your life is going to be shit, you know? Yeah, it's going to take some time for her to get back on her feet, but just know if she decides to leave, Nixon, is probably for the better good. And at that point, she probably didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, but I was telling her, like, like, your mom is not in a good space either. Like, I think y'all really need to talk to each other.